Welcome to Paul Unscripted, only on Coast Access Radio 104.7 FM. And today I have an incredible guest. I have with me Caden McIntyre. Hello, Caden.
It's a pleasure to be here, Paul. Hello, Paul.
And I have his support worker, Maria. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
So let me start off. Caden and I are the original guys who were members of the Kapiti Kiwis, which is a disability group who work together to enhance each other, hey. And we would do things like sausage sizzles and raise money for cat homes, for restoration of buildings, all in Kapiti. Now, these are called network groups, and the network groups are in Levin, Otaki, in Australia, in Auckland, and each of the members has a difficulty, such as autism, ADHD, anxiety, or cerebral palsy, deafness, blindness. And Caden and I were, like I said, the original guys. But I never knew that Caden had a secret. He kept from everyone the fact that he is an incredible musician. So Caden, please, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born, where you grew up, and how the piano infiltrated its way into being part of your career.
So I was born in Wellington City Hospital, so I spent about the first few years of my childhood in a little town called Johnsonville after I was born. And then ever since 2002, we moved here in Waikanae. And what inspired me with the piano was my uncle. So he gave me this 2009 Casio piano that lights up, and it actually teaches you music, like songs, like classical songs like Fur Elise, Centipede No. 1, those really beautiful classical songs, and it would teach you how to play them. But it also had a techno trance beat machine on it with synthesizers, and ever since then I've been hooked on techno and trance music. And then we move on to 2012, where I met my music teacher AJ Crawshaw, who I work with nowadays, and him and I have been making music together since 2012.
Brilliant. Now, the Casio that you had, I remember one Casio where the keys would light up and you would follow them. Is that?
That's the one.
That's the one. Excellent.
It was such a good keyboard.
And it's amazing you mentioned those classical songs. Can you read music?
I try to read music, but what I do is I would hear a song by ear. So one time, Mum was listening to the song upstairs, and it was one of those chill songs from the 80s. I would listen to it, I'll put it on my phone, and then I can play it by just listening to it. Because I try to read music on the sheets, and I just can't quite do it. But if I can listen to it, and I can hear it, I'll be able to play it by just listening to it on the piano.
Just a story to go off topic a bit. I worked as a storeman in one of my jobs, so I'd buy in the products and they'd go into the factory. But at the back of the store was an old organ.
Oh, wow.
It had 2 layers of keys. And I learned to play Star Wars by ear. I'd go, bum, bum, no, that's not right, bum, bum, oh, that's not right, oh, that's right. And I know Fur Elise very well. I think it's a beautiful piece.
It is.
But I never got past one hand playing,
It's a very complex song.
Yeah, it is. So tell us about when you started learning from a teacher.
So this is back in 2012. So he was teaching me the scales of the piano first. Then after about half an hour of that, we'd move on to making techno music. And so it was basic back then. But as the years went on, not only do I spend a lot more time mastering the craft of piano, like jazz piano, for example, I've also grown to be a lot more serious about the songs that I make now, and me and AJ would go like all out into how we want to make it sound so good so that people want to listen to it.
So you were training not on a piano but on a synthesizer.
Yep.
And so
it was
did
really
your
good.
teacher teach you how to use a synthesizer?
Yep, he's got this program called Logic Pro, which is a music making program. So he would have all these sounds on his keyboard or the computer, and the sounds that go into the keyboard, and that's how I can play the synthesizers. Because a lot of keyboards don't have the right specific synthesizers you want to hear. It's all through the computer.
So when you write your own music, it's not actually written down.
It's all played by ear.
It's all played by ear. That's incredible. And so when did this become not your passion at home, but to playing in an evening coffee shop or an open mic night?
Yes, so I go to this coffee place called Griffith and Pops Coffee. It's located on 14 Elizabeth Street, and the guy that runs it is a good friend of mine, and he's very warm and friendly, so anybody who's listening, I highly recommend you visit that place. So every Thursday we do open mic nights, so like 6:30 till like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning,
Yep.
and I'll be playing jazz piano there, because when you're at a cafe, jazz piano's the perfect vibe, just relax everybody, and it's nice chill vibe.
So this easy listening type thing.
It mellows you out when you listen to it, and it's fantastic.
And when did that become a passion? Because young people like you are more interested in, well, what I call top of the pops, the top 40, the your standard stuff, but you seem to have an old soul listening to these classic pieces and these, what do you call them, jazz pieces?
Yep, there's one song that I'm trying to learn, which is called Misty.
Misty.
A lot of pianists that I sometimes talk to loves that song. One of the customers at the cafe loves that song, and I'm trying to learn it so that if that customer returns, I can surprise them and look what I can do and play it.
Excellent. So since we're now talking about the old easy listening, why don't we play one of your... Now, is this Old London your composition, or is it somebody else that you just play for?
So this place that I go to has got this old vintage London piano, and
Yeah.
I think it's like from the 60s, and I just can't quite think of a good name for the song, so I was thinking, well, it's an old London piano, let's call the song Old London. And it's just, on my YouTube channel, it's just a video of me just playing this beautiful piece on the piano, and it's one of the best songs that I've made, and it's all by ear. So I was just
Well, Caden, I
following along
think
with it.
now's the time for us to listen to Old London. listening to that, I am immediately drawn to that old piano sound. You can tell this is a old machine. It comes across in the notes, in the echoes. It's just amazing, and so it's pretty strange to me, Caden, that you have a love for this old type, really emotional music, to then move on to this Jean-Michel Jarre type synthesizer. Now, I'm a big fan of Jean-Michel Jarre, so as soon as I heard your piece, I was drawn in. But where does your inspiration come from? You know, do you listen to a lot of music? And then, well, I'm answering your own question. Why don't I let you answer?
Yeah, so the emotional music, I listen to that an awful lot because I do quite like that emotional music. So when I play classical pianos, all I want to do is play a beautiful sad song on it, or jazz. And then to move on to the techno, ever since I've listened to this song called Darude Sandstorm, and anybody who loves trance or techno music will know this song, and they just love it. And I was just hooked onto that energy that sort of music gives me. And every time I make music like similar to Darude Sandstorm or like other songs like Jean-Michel Jarre, it just gives me this energy where I just want to keep going and give it like that sort of like that vibe and that drop, so that you know when it comes up, you notice that it's got
From
that,
my experience, you would probably have 6 to 8 minute songs then.
Yes, a lot of trance songs that I
Because-
listen to has got like 8 minutes, sometimes even 10 minutes.
Because you take a sound and then you add to it. I don't know if you've heard Tubular Bells.
Maybe.
It was the soundtrack to The Exorcist, but the song itself was, it's like one piece of music which then adds another piece of music and then adds another instrument. And so if you, I suggest you go and look for Tubular Bells and listen to it. It's about 16 minutes, and they keep adding instruments, but to the same beat. It's quite incredible.
Wow. That
And-
is incredible.
And do
16
you
minutes.
find that when you write those techno trances, that it's very difficult to stop?
It is. You got that energy and you don't want to stop. It's like going to a fitness place and you're on those running machines, and when you're listening to trance music, you just want to keep going.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm not a big fan of trance music, but listening to it in your song, it seems to add on, and it takes the song from a beat that you can bounce to almost frenzy, where you keep going on and on and on. So, what's the next step for you, Caden?
Well, the next step, I got a couple of more songs coming up on my YouTube channel. Also, I do like to get some more videos of me playing on the piano live, so you can actually see me playing in like a place where I'm on the piano live, because I quite like to have that on my YouTube channel. I've got 2 songs that I'm currently working on. One is called The Never Ending River, which is currently being made with AJ, and I can't wait till you guys hear it. It is awesome. And then there's a new one called Blue Water, which is, it's got this big piano, similar to what you just heard now with Old London. And I've got this big piano intro to it. And it's going to be like an emotional song, but it's going to be almost trancey still. So it's going to have like some sort of like vibe to it. And it's called Blue Water.
Now, of course, immediately I see that both your songs involve water,
A lot.
you know. So the river, do you have actual sounds of a river gurgling that you can add into it, or is...
Yep, we've already done that. We've got like river sounds. We even added some birds chirping, because I took this photo of the Waikanae River, which is so beautiful in the morning because the sunset hit it, And because it's New Zealand, we're going to add some beautiful chirping birds and
Yeah.
just to give it that vibe that you're actually at that river while you're listening to this song. And this song's got a real big build-up, and I'm really excited to have that on my YouTube
you've
channel.
nearly answered my next question, which is, what inspires you? Is it the nature that we look around, or do you just feel the need to pour out different sounds?
So quite often I would when I'm fast asleep, sometimes I wake up with a tune in my head and go, well, that just sounds quite good. Let's play that on the piano. And then I'll go for a walk somewhere, because New Zealand's such a beautiful place.
Yes.
There's going to be something picturesque that I'm going to take a photo of that and put that in my song and give the name of the song based on the photo. City Lights, for example, that song, found that photo, City Lights. So I like to, explore around the Kapiti region and just find these beautiful places and take photos of it. As long as I don't get in trouble with some places as well, because I think a couple of places you can't really take photos of.
I have walked the entire length of the Waikanae River, within reason, and it is quite a beautiful arena.
It is stunning.
Now, one more question is, what about an album?
I have been working on an album. I'm hoping to, because I use a phone editor on my phone, so once I have enough songs, I'm going to see if I can push for 50-minute albums, because if it's too long, then the phone won't actually produce the movie and upload it. It has to be around 50 minutes, but it should be a good enough length, and I should have multiple albums, maybe by the year, so that people can enjoy my music and not have these long pauses in between songs. It won't take long until the next song plays.
Since you mentioned it, let's have a listen to City Lights. what inspired you for this song?
So I found this photo of Wellington City Harbour and I thought, oh, that is a really pretty photo. So I'm thinking, what should be the name of this song? Because after I produce a song, it's kind of hard to think of a perfect name for it. So after seeing that photo, I thought, City Lights, boom. And then I put it in the edit of the song that I'm making and I upload it.
Well, I think that's really special because now when people listen to it, they are going to imagine their Wellington Harbour. We all have different views and different places, Island Bay. It's just awesome. Now, I'm going to go into a difficult area now, and I hope you're okay with it, but if you're not, please feel free. We are members of Community Connections, which Maria is a support worker of. Now, Community Connections helps us to handle difficulties that we have in life, to make it easier for us. All right, I struggle with blindness, I struggle with deafness, and I struggle with anxiety. And this is what makes you so special. You have some sort of difficulty.
I do.
And you still do this music. So please, if you don't mind, share your difficulty with us and how the music helps you to combat that.
Yeah, on a daily basis. So when I'm out in public, my problem is obviously anxiety. And also I struggle with not reading people's body language or facial expressions. So if I'm talking to a person, I'm in a bit of a panic because it's like I can't read how this person's feeling while I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
And so I have this sort of like stressed out feeling in me. So instantly the music blocks that negative energy out and it kind of heals you in a way. Whereas like, because I've got this talent of music, it is kind of nice to take all that frustrations of my struggles that I have on a daily basis and take it all onto music, and it just blocks it all out. And it's just a beautiful thing where I can like focus on the things that make me happy, and the music's just there to help me, guide me, so that I can get better with like things that I struggle with.
It sounds to me like this piano that you sit behind when you're in front of an audience or a crowd is almost protecting you.
It is.
Because instead of them looking at you, you are playing the music for them to focus on. So you don't have to worry about that social anxiety.
Exactly. And the crowd at Griffin and Pops are like some of the kindest people you'll ever meet. They're such good people. Every time I finish a piece, they'll like cheer me on and clap for my music, and I just love it. So every time I'm on front of that piano in that cafe, I'm in a happy place.
So this is why you are, in my opinion, one of the heroes of Kapiti. You know, because you take what is difficult and you make it, you know, I never used to be able to stand in front of people and talk. Now I can, mainly because I can't see them. Caden, can you tell us, where can we find your music?
So all of my music is on my YouTube channel. So you type in Caden Angus. Caden is spelt with C-A-Y-D-E-N because a lot of people spell Caden differently. So it's C-A-Y-D-E-N, and Angus, it's A-N-G-U-S. You type that in and my YouTube channel should come up, and enjoy.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your incredible music, and thank you for your strength in holding up the difficulties that you face. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate being here.
Thank you, Caden.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much, Caden.
Thank you.
And this is it for Paul Unscripted, the October edition, and we'll see you after Halloween.
This program was made with assistance from New Zealand On Air for radio broadcast and through the Access Media website. Thank you, New Zealand On Air.